What's up, YouTube? 3B Games, back at it again. Oh wait, I call myself Alex, I think. Well, anyways, this video is different. It's not Marvel Strike Force, and you'll know this if you're clicked on it. But I want to try something a little different here. We got a game of D&D going via Discord with a bunch of people that I'm friends with, and I thought maybe it'd be fun to translate that into a narration, kind of like a podcast, but I'll have the text on screen. You can kind of read along if you want, or you can just listen to it and kind of tell the story that we're playing out in real time, and that might be entertaining. So, I mean, we'll see. This is going to be the first one of hopefully many, and we'll just go with it. Uh,
Eberron, land of wonder, mystery, magic, and machine. But most of all, treasure. For many years, the lands have been peaceful and the people happy. The war of the machines, a time long gone. Gone but not forgotten. A constant reminder of a time that once was, walks among the people now as one of them. Acceptance of them, a part of life now, the Warforged. But there are some old enough who haven't forgotten, clawing at the back of their minds of those lost at the hands of the living machine. Was it their fault? Does it matter? What happened to their creators, magical beings no one ever saw, creating and unleashing an unending army of machines, and then gone without a trace? These are the mysteries to be solved, and possibly fortunes to be found by our adventurers. Are they up to the task? And what of the rumors of a dark presence manipulating now peaceful creatures? Good luck, adventurers. You're going to need it. Ragnar the Pure wakens on a ship, a prisoner transport, guilt stricken with the annihilation of his friends and party when asking his so called God for help, turned to a life of crime. Caught, finds himself being taken aboard a magical flying airship unlike anything he's ever seen. Ragnar notices through one of the holes in the hull as the ship passes through a mysterious gate and into a new land. Ragnar sits across from another prisoner, unlike anything he's ever seen. A machine made to look like a man, unlike any machine known to him.
hey, do you know where we're going? Are you a prisoner too?
I am. Further back behind meat hooks, chains, and shackles, they see a small figure.
Hey, yes, this is it. This is what I've been looking for.
Faintly, they can make out the shape of a small humanoid, standing atop a much larger human. The smaller one focus is on the larger one's head. They hear the tinkering of tools, but a much fainter clicking below the table. They see nothing more, but another voice is faintly heard, raspy and mechanical almost.
What's going on here?
Quiet now. I've almost fixed you.
Who's back there? Do you know where we're going?
Shush. I must concentrate. G-Unit, hush the loud one.
As his words finish, a small mechanical dragling scuttles over to Ragnar's cage. It lets out a high pitched squeal, its mouth open. Oil begins to pour into his cell. Small flames ignite from its nostrils. It stares at Ragnar, waiting for him to speak again. Ragnar nods, leans against the back wall of his cell in silence.
Stop the tinkering, can't you, see I'm operational.
Silly machine.
I'm here to say, got it.
He pulls away. Some of the oil rolls off the large humanoid's eye, enough to see him pull out some sort of purple gem. He quickly hops off of the large humanoid and runs up the stairs. G-Unit quickly follows behind.
Out of the way, you boneheaded barbarian.
There is one strap across the large humanoid's chest, and two more restraining its hands. Its legs, however, are not. Ragnar takes a look at the lock on his cell. It has noticeable rust decay on it.
Hey, my metallic buddy, why don't you give this lock a good oof stomp and I'll get those straps off you?
Before the large humanoid can answer, an electric shock sparks, and he collapses unconscious. I suppose I can kick the gate open, but I fear we would be heard by the guards.
Better than waiting to see the end of a rope, or I guess the scrapyard for you. What say ye?
The prisoner kicks the lock as hard as he can. The cell door bursts open, smashing into and breaking open the door in front of them, making a very large crash. Realizing they have a precious moment to act before their captors come after the ruck, the prisoner puts the mangled cell door in the staircase as a blockade as Ragnar runs the opposite direction towards the staircase across the hull. A dragonborn guard reaches the bottom of the staircase while the prisoner is still moving the door into place. At sight of the guard, the prisoner makes a bolt for this other staircase. The guard is slowed by the obstacle, but gives chase in a close manner. The prisoner tries to command the guard to stop, but the guard only persists with more vigor. The guard gets close enough to try and subdue the prisoner, only to grasp air as the prisoner deftly dodges. Realizing he's losing ground, the guard reaches a lever on the wall, lifts it down. Suddenly, the floor underneath the prisoner opens side to side, and he falls into the net beneath. Now hanging underneath the ship, the prisoner is trapped in the net. The prisoner takes note that they are now flying over a city, and he's barely above the tips of the skyscrapers. Ragnar reaches the top of the staircase and sees a room on either side of him. He doesn't think too hard on it. He goes into the room on the left. The room has a row of buckets and a putrid aroma enveloping the space. The buckets clearly have excrement in them, filled to the brim. Above the buckets on the wall are pictures of gnomes in less than appropriate clothing. Ragnar takes a picture off the wall. A gnome with hair akin to a bright flame and more curves than the waves of the sea, and shoves it into his pocket. He leaves the stench chamber and heads across to the other room. There's a table with cards and chips scattered over the top of it. Clearly a gambling table, but no one resides in it. There's an open door across the room, commotion emanating from it. Before he can investigate, there's a sudden swell of footfalls above him, and the sound of ropes swaying across the deck and dragging on the ground. Ragnar recognizes the sounds of docking, but also small fireworks are exploding around the ship. He heads back across to the stench chamber, and in between rooms he can hear the small tinkerer's voice from earlier ring through the chaos.
Fire, you dogs! Don't let that thing near the ship!
Meanwhile, the guard has run back from whence he came up to the deck in pursuit of the escapees. Upon reaching the deck, he sees his guard mates assaulting a warforged rushing the ship, a look of insanity coming from it. The guards know this look on a warforged and turns back towards the staircase. A blast hits the side of the ship, and the guard sees prisoners falling out of the gash and down into the city. The blast disoriented the guard, but did not harm him. The ship is noticeably descending now. The blast caused the buckets that surround Ragnar to fill the air and make what was once just a stench a reality. Doused in excrement, Ragnar finds his footing in the wake of the blast. The descent of the ship has started dragging the prisoner along rooftops. A revelation of act or die upon him, the prisoner starts seeing the finer details of his predicament. The rooftop is made of clay, and the strain of ship parts raining upon it is cracking clay. Pieces are sliding down its slope, just past the net. The prisoner catches one narrowly as it's sliding past. A sharp edge to one side of it slashes desperately at the net that holds him. Not a precise job. He is free of the ship and on the rooftop, net interwoven on him head to toe. Ragnar opens the door to leave the hell he chose, only to see a cityscape where his ship used to be. He can see his prison mate on a rooftop just below, and the captain taking off on his dragoling as his crew jumps into freefall. Knowing he can't dwell on the situation, he leaps through the air, aiming to land upon the rooftop. Rolling as he lands, he catches his footing just beside the prison.
We meet again, my chrome-domed sky jail neighbor. Don't mind the smell. I'm just glad to be here instead of there.
The guard can see two prisoners still trapped in their cells, across a gaping gash from where he stands, chains and rope dangling between them, and instantly goes to action. He leaps through the chains and rope, not grabbing them at all, lands on the cell door, and without losing momentum, rips the door off its hinges and hurls it into the wreckage. Before the prisoners can process what has happened in front of them, they find themselves over the guard's shoulders, soaring through the air. The city below them people on the street the size of they crash through a window and land in a building. The prisoners regain their bearings and realize they're surrounded by more guards. A better fate than the wreckage, to be sure.
And that's it, you guys. If you did like the video, please follow me on Twitter to see each and every time a video goes live. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, ding the dinger. You know what to do. Been here all the time. You know. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.